David, did you accomplish all you set out to do this off season, or do you still consider the off season going, or how do you look at it?
Yeah, I think increasingly the offseason extends into spring training now, and I think that's the case this year as well. There will be transaction activity unquestionably throughout the industry in the coming weeks. It may extend until March. I don't really know. But we feel good about our team. I feel like we're in a good spot heading into camp. We're always going to look to improve where we can, but I feel good about where our team is right now.
What is the thing that stands out the most about your additions this offseason?
I think we've gotten deeper as a club, and that's something that that probably hurt us a little bit last year when some of the guys at the top of the roster went down. It was tougher for this team to backfill. And look, when you have superstar players have injuries, it's always going to be tough to backfill. But I do think we're positioned well right now to handle the inevitable uncertainty that a major league season brings, and we're gonna have a lot of good quality major league players in that clubhouse when camp begins. We expect to be a good team. We expect to compete for a playoff spot and have exciting baseball at Citi Field in September and October. Success can be defined in a lot of different ways. But certainly our expectations going into this season is that we're going to have a quality team that wins games and is a competitive playoff caliber team.
Is this a club that you see maybe competing for a division or just wild card? Because you leave it at playoffs.
Yeah, and look, we're in a really good division, right? We're in a really good division. The Braves have been one of the best teams in baseball for a while now. The Phillies have had some very successful years of late, so we understand the quality of competition in our division. I also understand that the external expectations aren't going to have us with the Braves right now, and that's understandable given the year that we're coming off of. And so I think our focus is being as good as we can possibly be, and we believe that's going to be a good team. Yeah, so we've got some spots in the bullpen, the last couple spots, probably last two or so spots of the pen where there's going to be some competition. I think we've got some spots at the back end of the position player grouping as well. The DH spot, a bench roll or platoon bat spot. And so that's going to be exciting. And we also know that things change over the course of camp. There will be injuries that pop up inevitably that change how we look at certain roles. So, I think from a competition standpoint, my perspective, and I certainly respect you all have things you need to write early in camp. And so we'll do our best to answer our questions. But from my perspective, I don't really start to drill down on that until we get into like the second week of March, and we see who is still healthy, who's on track to play on opening day, because sometimes it looks a little bit different when we get to that time frame than it might today.
We're in the Dominican Republic. What was your sense of where Starling Marte is at and what you could possibly or reasonably expect from him this year?
Yeah, the most encouraging thing there is he's healthy. I mean, it was clear watching him play that he was healthy. The game I was at, he had to handle he was playing right field, and he had to handle a number of balls down the right field line, and he got there easily. It looked like Starling Marte moving in the outfield, so that was very encouraging.
This week when you got asked about Pete Alonso, you said essentially to focus on this season. Do you anticipate not discussing with him a long-term deal until next offseason, or was that going to be broached before the season?
I think that's probably the most likely outcome. We're not going to get into the specifics of any particular negotiation. I'm not going to provide you guys updates on any conversations that exist back and forth, but. Look, when you have a really talented player who's really good, who's entering his final year of club control, who happens to be represented by Scott Boras, these things generally end up into free agency. And we understand that. This is an organization that's dealt with that before with really good players, and it's ended up in a perfectly fine spot. So, yeah, I have not seen Pete here yet, haven't talked to him here yet. But what we're going to talk about is, look, let's go out and have a great year together. You go out, have a great year. Let's have a great year as a team. And if we do that, we're both going to be set up, the organization and Pete, going to be set up very well going into the offseason.